You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Thanks for selling your car to Carvana. Here's your check.
Whoa, when did I get here?
What do you mean?
I swear it was just moments ago that I accepted a great offer from Carvana online. I must have time traveled to the future.
It was just moments ago. We do same-day pickup. Here's your check for that great offer.
It is the future.
It's the present and just the convenience of Carvana. Sorry to blow your mind.
It's all good. Happens all the time.
Sell your car the convenient way to
Carvana.
Pickup times may vary and fees may apply.
Hey there, you're listening to the Oklahoma On Stage podcast. Here we sit down with the folks that make the magic happen on and off stage in the Oklahoma theater scene. We're glad you joined us. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And our website is oklahomaonstage.org. If you have any comments or questions, you can send them to us at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com. If you like the podcast, please leave us a rating and review and share with those you know. Let's not waste any more time, shall we? Grab a snack and a drink and take your seat. The show is about to begin.
Oklahoma on stage, the stories come alive. With drama, dance, and music, the arts always thrive. From center stage to backstage lore, Oklahoma on stage, there's always something more.
Welcome back to Oklahoma On Stage, your go-to podcast for all things theater in the state of Oklahoma. This week, we are sitting in the center of City Space Black Box Theater, the lower level of Oklahoma City Civic Center, for which for the last 8 months has been the resident home of Storyteller Theatre Company, performing some of the re-envisioned beloved classics such as Julius Caesar, Emma, Much Ado About Nothing, and The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Our guest this week is a rising name in Oklahoma theater scene. She's an actress, director, writer, co-founder of Storyteller Theatre Company, a company redefining how classic literature meets modern performance. Though she may be younger than many of her peers, her creative resume reads like someone who's lived a dozen artistic lives, as she's just getting started. She's a champion of lifelong learning for artists of all ages, blending intellect, passion, and a touch of theatrical madness to uncover the storyteller in everyone. Her work spans adaptations of literary giants like Ellen Montgomery, Oscar Wilde, and Mark Twain, brought to life with a local cast and a whole lot of heart. Whether she's directing a show, mentoring young actors, or writing new material, her mission is clear: to make people feel deeply, honestly, and together. She believes theater should be accessible, transformative, and rooted in community. And with Storyteller Theatre expanding its reach across Oklahoma City, her vision is only growing bolder. Oklahoma On Stage family, join me in welcoming at this time Mrs. Brenna Wickstrom to the podcast.
Thanks, Tim. And I didn't realize how teary I was gonna get while you listening. That doesn't feel like I do that much until you say that, and that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's nice.
there's a lot of different ground that you touch when you do this, so you should be aware. So we're gonna just dive right into this. We're gonna have some fun today. Open up some doors, open up some windows, blow out some dusty closets, things like that. So we're gonna dive right into it as we always do. How did you get started in theater?
I got started in theater in high school drama. I had never done theater before, but I my mom had had me in dance since I was 3 years old. And she was actually a sign language interpreter at Westmore High School. And she would interpret for her hard of hearing and deaf students who were taking drama. And I remember that when I was a little girl, she would take me up to the rehearsals at Westmore, and she'd like sit me on the stage and she'd be interpreting there. And I thought, wow, like that's just so cool. And I liked what they were doing so much. But we just didn't have access to theater. Like my mom wasn't in that world, so she didn't know how to put me into it until we got to high school, and that was an extracurricular. And I just signed up for Drama One, auditioned for a play, got in, and that's it. And I haven't stopped. So that's
Very cool.
pretty much it.
Very cool. Bug bites different for all of us different times.
Yeah, it really is.
So growing up, were you more of a spotlight chaser or were you more of a behind the scenes person?
No, I was a big spotlight chaser as a kid. They had this step in our living room that it was a sunken living room, so you'd have to step down. And so that step was like my personal stage. I'd get books out and read them for my mom and act out parts, and I would read imaginary games with friends, being the director, telling them you're going to play this and I'm going to do this and we're going to do that. So I think it really has always been there, like just underneath the surface, waiting to come out.
I can see that. I really did. So do you remember the first role that made you think, yeah, this is what I want to do?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So we did Cinderella my freshman year of high school, and I auditioned, and I told my mom as soon as they announced the musical in the fall, I said, I want to be the stepsister. Everyone's going to go for Cinderella, but I really want to be Portia, the stupid stepsister. That was how they were like naming her in auditions, our drama teacher. And I just remember having so much fun with that part and hearing everybody laugh and making people laugh. That's when I realized, okay, I never want to do anything else. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So now you and Justice, you've launched Storyteller Theater in 2019. What was the moment that made you say, hey, let's build a theater?
We have wanted to do this since we were in high school together. Like, we would often think about what that would be like early on after we had graduated, and thinking about what it is we want to do with our lives. And while we were working regular jobs, we always thought that, one day we would have our own theater space. It just kind of, I guess the biggest thing that led to that was we had grown up with such a strong high school drama program that really fostered family and community and connection, and you never wanted to go anywhere else. Like, you just wanted to stay with each other all the time. That when we left and we graduated, and like being in college theater and going out into the community, it was wonderful, but it didn't feel like home. There just wasn't a home. And not to say that isn't bad. It was very professional, as it should be. But we were looking for community through like-minded people, and that's what we really wanted to build. We wanted to build a company that fostered community and this sense of family, and it just kind of all came together from there,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, and I hear voices coming. So for those of you listening, we are actually sitting backstage for preparation for performance of A Little Princess here at City Space. And so actors are now starting to file in. So hopefully we can kind of keep them under control a little bit. Otherwise, well, it is what it is. It's theater, right?
Yeah, I just go with the flow.
That's it. That's right. So you guys performed around Oklahoma City for several years after you graduated high school, and then you moved away from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Well, we during
as these things happen. Sorry.
during COVID, we just realized that we didn't there weren't very many opportunities in Oklahoma to make a living in theater. There's just not, unfortunately. And we were really seeking to experience the world, and I had wanted to move to Florida for a very long time. So we had applied to positions all over the country, but mainly in Florida. And we had gotten a call from a studio down in Sarasota called The Players, and they're the oldest theatrical company in Florida. They're almost 100 years old. And they were looking for a technical director and a director of education. And they really wanted the both of us to come in and reimagine their theater and reimagine their company, because they'd been hit so hard by COVID. And they were really excited about what our plans had been for Storyteller. And we really thought about it, and we made that move to go down there. And we loved every minute of it.
So what brought you back to Oklahoma?
Hurricanes and financial distress. While we were living in Sarasota, the economy jumped by 15%, and it became in the top 3 most expensive places to live in America.
Especially for an actor.
Oh yeah, and we realized that we were about to have another baby, our daughter, and we were like, okay, we need our family, and we have to be able to live and eat. So
Hustle plus. So.
We moved back to Oklahoma.
Okay. All right. Well, we're certainly glad you did.
So Oklahoma is home. It is home. It is home. We love Florida. So.
Well, that's fair. Okay, so how did those early experiences, high school, the performing in Oklahoma City, moving to Florida, coming back, how did all of that shape the kind of theater that you wanted to create?
Oh my. I think that's a really good question, because it all directly influences each other. And I can look back and see how, just like from the very beginning, this thing impacts this thing, and then this led to this. And it's just all this bigger plan that I'm not really in control of. So I just I don't know if that answers your question or not.
It's your answer. That's all that matters.
I don't know. I think it just all kind of came together the way it's supposed to. And we are just trying to make something that we believe in, that other people want to believe it too. So
that's very nice. So Storyteller is known for putting a twist on the classics. So what is your secret sauce, as they always say, for keeping timeless stories so fresh?
Well, first of all, I think there gets a bad rap on adaptation here lately, because so many people are like, oh, we're going to reimagine this story, we're going to do it like this. But the way that we go about adapting is we want to stay as truthful to the author's intent as possible, because that story would not have been made if it weren't for the author, and we want to be respectful of that. I think we always try to find, when we're adapting a story, the biggest thing for us is we want to find redeeming qualities at the end. So we just want to be able to find those characters that make you believe in something or hope for something or leave. It may not always end on a positive note, like the Diary of Anne Frank, for instance, but you do leave with this sense of purpose, and that, again, there's this greater story to be told. And in our lives. And I think that's the biggest thing that we approach when we pick shows. And we also like to pick stories to adapt that we are passionate about, like A Little Princess. Justice couldn't care less about A Little Princess. He'd never seen it before in his life. But I grew up with that story, and I really wanted to tell that story, and I really wanted to tell Little Women and The Diary of Anne Frank and those types of things. And I think that's what makes this company like our own, is we get to put our own style on it and then inspire others to be part of it too.
That's why he gets to do Treasure Island.
Yeah, that's why he gets to do Treasure Island, because I want to do Muppets Treasure Island, and he said no.
That could be fun. That could be
I
fun.
think so.
So you've staged shows in parks, in museums, in high schools. What's the wildest or most memorable venue that you've worked in?
My question.
A million things are coming to mind right now, but the biggest, like the most wildest, was when we tried to do Wind in the Willows at Wheeler District, because it's such a wide open space. It was so hot. It was so hot, like the hottest August we ever had on record, and just so many complications. And I'm just that's the first thing that comes to mind. And yeah,
But you did it.
but we did it. We did one show, and that's it. And at least we did it.
That's right. You did it. You did it. So how do you balance artistic integrity with accessibility when when choosing your season lineup?
Tell me what you mean by that. That's interesting.
When you're selecting your shows to put on, thinking about your audience in mind, how do you the keeping true, as you said, keeping true to the author, but at the same time knowing who your audience is and how to bring them into that? Because presenting Shakespeare in and of itself is not easy. Doing it in a way that relates to the people in the audience is a whole other trick.
It's a really good question that I'm not even super sure that we've thought about before. Mostly when we select stories to produce, we do it because we want to do it. And it's kind of
You just have a list, you draw them out of a hat.
almost, or what's the most financially feasible option at this time? What's going to resonate with audiences in this moment? Like, we knew we wanted to do Julius Caesar way back in COVID, but it felt even more relevant now with everything to be able to do that. And it seems to be that every time we pick a season or we pick a story to tell, it seems to align in that moment with what audiences are really wanting at that point. And it's not intentional. We're just choosing things because we love it. And we just hope other people love it too. So yeah, I'm just always surprised at how audiences resonate with the works that we're doing. And I think it's because it's classics. It's names and titles that people grew up with. So it's already going to attract different demographics of people. Is this answering your question?
Yeah, sure.
I don't
Yeah, as I said, it kind of tends to the timeless factor of some of the material that you guys have chosen. So,
and I think that's why they remain classics, is because they are themes and ideas and stories that transcend generations. And if it didn't resonate with people, it wouldn't be a classic anymore. It'd just fall into history.
very true.
Yeah.
So you've built this space where actors of all backgrounds feel welcome. What does that inclusivity look like behind the scenes? It's one thing that people see it on stage. What does it look like in the world of Storyteller?
I really think it just means treating people with respect. We're all human. We all do things that are human. We're all going to make mistakes, and it just means having a lot of grace for people, a lot of grace, and that can be really hard to do. And but it's something that we're passionate about, and it just having grace and respect for your fellow man. So that's how we approach that inclusivity model, and that that you're welcome here. So
Nice. Simple but effective. I like it. So how do you keep your creative tank full when you're juggling so many different roles?
I think the work in and of itself fills my creative tank. If I don't have it, I don't feel very creative. So I have to keep my hand in one pot at all times to be able to do the other thing, which is not always wise or smart, but that's just what I enjoy.
Your hand's just going from one pot to another.
Maybe.
So, gonna shift gears and talk about your life beyond the stage. You're not just a theater artist; you're also a children's book illustrator. How did that creative lane open up for you?
That's something that I always wanted to be able to do. Even when I was little, I would write stories and try to sell them to kids at school for a quarter. Seriously.
Does not surprise me at all.
It's I would make a couple bucks.
Oh.
So that's always something that I was really passionate about, but kind of just had forgotten about along the way. And then when our oldest son Noah was first born, I was working as a nanny for a lady who they run a brand design company, and she is also an illustrator and artist. Her name is Erin Cooper, and they run a company called Cooper House. And they do a lot of brand design and illustration and murals. The Wheeler District mural down there at Wheeler District, she painted, and she was really formative in that belief that I could illustrate, because in the afternoons when I'd nanny for the kids, we'd have drawing time, art time, and we'd sit at the table and we'd draw. And she'd say, "Brenna, these are really good." And I'd say, "They're not, they're just doodles." She'd go, "No, you could do this. You could illustrate." And there wasn't anybody who had that belief in me that I could do that. So I think just having that affirming voice is really what led me to do it. And then I had just started posting my doodles online, and there was a local author who really liked my work, and she asked me if I'd illustrate for her. And so we did, and now I'm trying to do it for myself.
Very nice, very nice. So what are some of your favorite projects that you worked on?
In theater? Or just...
Well, the children's books.
Oh, children's books? I haven't had that many, really. Just the one project for Mackenzie Fox. So that was really fun to do. And try to keep going for myself. So
Okay. So when you're not directing or illustrating, what's your go-to way to recharge?
My go-to way to recharge is just make sure I'm getting enough sleep at night. I know that's boring, but that's my number one thing. And I like to watch movies in the evening too. So
You're hooked on the classics too. You're always posting about another classic movie that you've watched.
yeah, I know. I do. I like black and white movies and classic movies.
You're an old soul.
I guess. Yeah.
So if you could write a children's book based on one of your past productions throughout, what would it be called?
Based on one of the past productions?
Yeah. Throughout your life, doesn't have to be a storyteller, but just sometime in your life, one of your past productions, if you could write a children's book about it, what would it be called?
My goodness. I don't know.
Creativity is hard when you put people on the spot.
Well, I have had an idea in the past of adapting the Little Women books for younger audiences and having them be based on each sister and having them be Little Joe, Little Amy, the Little Women
Okay.
books.
That's cute. I think it was.
Cute. Where's the time, Tim? Where's the
I know, right? Yeah, just see if you can squeeze that in on one of your off nights.
Absolutely.
So, okay, looking ahead, what's next for Storyteller? Any new formats, new venues, new audiences?
Things, hopefully new things coming up. Right now, just going on with Treasure Island, Little Women, and It's a Wonderful Life, and then a whole new season next year, and hopefully we'll get to share some exciting news soon, but for now, that's what's going on.
You guys had already announced at least most of next season.
Yeah. And maybe there's a surprise in there or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your husband mentioned that there may be a few other things in the works.
Yeah, there's a few other things that we're waiting to hear back.
This season even showed that you guys like to throw something in, at the last minute. So
What is life without some surprises and
Sure. Okay, if you could adapt any story, classic or modern, with no budget limits, what would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. Why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me?
That's the fun of this show.
Well, we just did The Wizard of Oz, so
That's your favorite.
I know, but I really want to do a musical and do it with a huge budget, like not like unlimited budget. That'd be so fun. Adapt, but I can't adapt that because that is us already.
Well, yeah, but with unlimited budget, you could put it upstairs.
Exactly. I don't know. There's so many ideas just swimming around in there.
Yeah. Well, that's what a creative mind is all about. So what kind of legacy do you hope that Storyteller leaves in the Oklahoma theater scene?
When we think about legacy, I always think about my kids and what they'll have to look forward to. And my biggest wish for this company is that it grows into something that my kids are proud to say, hey, my mom and dad grew up doing this and I grew up around it and I'm proud of it. And that people can say, hey, your mom and dad were really good people and they always treated people with respect and welcomed us. That's the kind of legacy that I hope we bring.
Well, that's awesome. And I think you guys are doing a great job at that. So how do you see your own role evolving in the next 5 years? Do you see more directing, more writing, maybe something unexpected?
My role is sort of taking a little bit of a step back and just kind of in really writing a little bit more and directing things that I'm passionate about here and continuing to costume, just kind of finding my own foot in things that fit my own style of who I am and this business. So.
Well, I know that there are several of us that are hoping to help take some of that pressure off of you.
So
to give you some more time to do some of the other things that you're wanting to do. So
yes.
So what advice would you give to any young artists who feel like they have to leave Oklahoma to make it?
You don't. And that's kind of what the hard lesson that we had to learn. You can honestly do whatever it is that you want to do. And if you think that you can't, you're making an excuse for yourself. there are no excuses. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way to do it.
And that can apply to a lot of different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about what you want. Okay, as we start winding down the episode, we have what we call our curtain call curveballs.
Okay.
And this is, you thought the other ones were hard.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to have some fun, though. Okay, so just first thing that comes off the top of your head, okay?
Okay.
You're cast in a musical version of your own life. What's the opening number called?
Just like drawing up the lake, everything. What it's wrong.
It's called Chaos.
Chaos. There we go. That's the first word that comes into my mind.
And, you know, I don't think you're the first person to say that. So that's like most creative types that sticks there. So, okay, if Storyteller Theater had a mascot, what would it be, and what would its catchphrase be?
We do have a mascot, actually. It's our little logo. It's the cowboy and the horse. And honestly, I think our catchphrase would probably be howdy. Just howdy. It's happy.
That's kind of how we roll.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you're stranded backstage with only props from past shows. What 3 items do you MacGyver into survival to?
And the survival tools? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, Linda's wand was kind of a weapon sword thing. That, I think. Tools. We usually always have books back there, so we take a book because you can't survive without your knowledge. And oh my goodness, I feel like we use a teapot in nearly every show that we do. So I mean, it's not this is how much I know about survival and all of that. So we'll have a teapot so we can at least be civilized. I don't know.
Hey, now to think about the future, right? So, what is your go-to theater superstition, and have you ever broken it?
Okay. My go-to theater superstition is, you can't say good before a show and have to say break a leg. No, I don't believe I've ever broken it so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thought you were going to say you can't say the M word backstage.
I'm not that. I'm not. Justices will not say the M word anywhere, but I don't believe in that one.
There you go. There you go. You have to direct the show using only sock puppets. What's the title, and who's your dream cast?
Oh man, with sock puppet. Oh, the Pink Panther comes to mind. That'd be kind of funny with sock puppets. And we can't. The Dreamcast. I'm just gonna go locally here. Like we'd have to have you be involved in that, and we would need Daniel Thompson.
Oh, of course.
To play one of the sock puppets. And McKay. We need Michaela to play it too. Sure. So I think this Easter.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you could swap lives with any literary character for one day, who's getting the Freaky Friday treatment?
That's a good question, too. If any literary character, probably, I'd say Jo March. I'd want to swap lives with Jo March. She's getting to live a good life, and that's after she becomes the writer. So, like, getting to teach and write and all of that would be nice.
And then if she leaves for New York, just changes everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so as we wrap up, any parting words of wisdom or anything for our listeners? Anybody who's wanting to get into theater, what would you tell them?
I'd say go for it, because it really does change your life, and you get to meet people and experience things that you would never ever get to experience if you weren't in theater. It's just changed my life in so many ways, for better and the worse, and that's the beauty of it. So I've enjoyed every step. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Brenna, thank you for agreeing to do this, giving a little bit of your time that you don't have to be a part of this. We really appreciate it, and so does everybody else.
I always have time for you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Cool.
For everybody else that's listening at home, thank you for giving your time to listen to the podcast and to just share the work that we're doing. So keep it up, and no matter what you do, keep supporting the arts.
Oklahoma on stage, the spotlight burns so bright. Every tale and song, a starry guiding light. So tune in, folks, there's much to explore. Oklahoma on stage, let's give it
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.